So I've had the Galaxy Active Watch 2 for about 8 months now. Really like it, and I'm transitioning to the Watch 4. Some of the differences between the 2 and the 4. On the Active 2, the buttons are a little bit more flush than they are on the 4. The home button is a lot smaller than you see on the 4. And you've got the Tizen OS versus Wear OS 3. Battery life on the 2, they tout 60 hours on the 2 and 40 hours on the 4. What I have found over the last couple months is I'll be at about 60% on the first day at the end of the day, and the end of the second day I'll be down to about 20%, which I really like. That way I only have to charge it every other day. Whereas the Active 2, or with the 4, it's just a tad bit smaller than the 2, but they tout 40 hours on the 4, and I haven't gotten anything close to that. The first day, after just changing watch faces and moving apps around, I was down to 27%. And that was without always on display turned on. The second day that I used it, I charged it again, and I was down to still 30 to 40% at the end of the day, and the next morning I was down to 20%. And so this, even though it touts 40 hours, you're not going to get it. And I was tempted to send it back because of that. I do like the Wear OS 3. I like how you can just move things around, and Bixby wants to answer more things, and so if you move things around, it dynamically moves. If you hold it, you can find out what it is. If you've got other apps, such as the calculator, you can uninstall it directly from this menu. If you do it from the phone, you have to save it. And our quick panel, slide down from the top, is about the same. Again, with the quick panel, you can reorder it the way you want. And the tiles, you can cycle through the different tiles. The only difference as far as what the 4 offers is the body composition. Everything else seems to be about the same. If you look on the back, your sensors look almost identical. And unfortunately, with Samsung wanting to add more sensors, they got closer to the Apple Watch on decreasing battery life. I have not had always on display yet using the 4, and I still have to charge it every night. There's no way you're going to get 2 days of battery life out of the 4. I'm hoping for Google Assistant, which Samsung promised. However, in the meantime, Bixby is pretty responsive. What's the weather in Fort Collins? And looks like
you have 3 weather capsules. Do you want to use the weather channel?
So they both pop up when I use it. The only weird thing with Bixby on the 4 is you can't do sports. You have to add these capsules to it. And so that's another reason I look for Google Assistant. Overall, I'm liking the watch. I think it's nice and bright. It looks great. We've got a 396 by 396 display on the 40, and it feels good on my hands. I've got smaller wrists, and so the 40-inch feels great. And with the curve of the band, it feels and looks pretty good. I am happy with it. Like I said, I was tempted to send it back after only a couple days because I wasn't very impressed with the battery life. But with it being the newest and greatest, I'm hoping that they will do additional updates. The watch faces will be updated. You can change that through both the watch and the phone. You can cycle through the different watch faces just on the watch, and again, we dynamically change on the phone. The tiles are easy to add to or reorder. You can add your media, which responds pretty easily. Additional steps together is something that it looks like again copy an Apple that you can connect to somebody else that has a watch to have competitions and keep up to see how well you're doing. You can do your water intake, women's health, weather, and world clock. Has all sorts of different tiles. One tile that I would like to have that it does not is just the timer. I've used the timer quite often with my kids, and I would like to see that back. I do like some of the simpler watch faces on the Active 2 that are not available on the 4. And if you bought any of the watch faces for the Active 2, they will not be compatible with the 4. It comes with a fair amount that are customizable. But again, you got to find what works for you. Great watch. Glad I got it, and look forward to what Samsung has planned for the future and what Google has planned for the future for Galaxy Watch 4.